Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. This is True Divine. You're either seeing this on my new Facebook page, which is True Divine, or my new YouTube channel, True Divine 44. Any likes, shares and subscribes on either or both of those is very, very much appreciated. These readings are to give back a little bit and also promote my business for tarot reading, energy work and much more. So this is for February 2020 and it's for the great sign of Gemini. Being a Gemini myself, I often can get misunderstood, and I understand that about this dynamic sign, but you know, we are what we are, and we do get things done. This reading emphasizes that a bit, but also shows off that there's been a bit of a block going on. So in the past card we have the Chariot, a major arcana, something that was triggered in the past, the work leading up to this, something set us into balance, set us into recalibration, set us into saying we need our own divinity, we need our own drive and force behind ourselves rather than anyone else. There was something about, for a lot of people that this might resonate with, that there was a separation from things they'd once known or people they'd once been with, knowing that it wasn't the right course for them. There was a course set for a different direction, a different way of life for a lot of people, and a different understanding of what we needed around us, what kind of fulfillment we needed. And there was there was a course correction that happened in the past leading up to February 2020. In the present, following that movement that the Chariot caused, that drive forward in a different direction that the Chariot caused or set in motion, in the present there's this feeling that we have this gift, this cup that is full, overflowing. It's a gift from the universe. It's a gift from the universe via those around us. This cup can manifest itself in your life in the most odd ways, in the most unpredicted ways. Sometimes we can see the course that we're on, we can see the direction we're going in, but even then we limit the opportunities, we limit the ways and means that this kind of cup, this kind of inspiration, this kind of gift from the heavens can come in. At present, try to open your mind, try to not limit those thoughts, try to maybe even not visualize too hard on how something is going to come in, how this new emotional start, this gift is going to come in, but maybe visualize the end goal, i.e. not looking at the ways, the hows and could be's, but looking past that, feeling that emotion in the heart, feeling that new start has already happened, feeling that feeling of the balance, the emotional balance, the emotional fulfillment, bliss. Feel that there. Feel your way through it rather than think your way through it, which is often what Geminis like to do. We like to defer back to the mental state. We like to defer back to trying to think through everything, trying to make everything logical. Try and bring that from here to here and feel what you want to be the end goal. Feel what you desire most, how that would feel, how that would, what kind of warmth that would bring, what kind of excitement that would bring, what kind of pound that would bring to the heart, rather than thinking it through. I feel for a lot of Geminis, if this resonates with you, there's this sort of fight between the heart and the mind right now. The Gemini backup plan always being to defer to the mind. I feel that that's a block, and as I'm talking I feel quite blocked I feel that that is something that we need to really draw down, this visualization of what we want, this new start, this gift from the heavens, and feel our way through it rather than think our way through it. Because then in the future card, and I feel that these are almost simultaneous, the present and the future together. The King of Pentacles came up, but he came up reversed. There's a lot of Geminis that have really been put in, again logically, their wheels in motion to say, right, what isn't meshing in our lives, what isn't flowing, what isn't bringing in what it needs to bring in, what isn't sustaining us in every aspect. And it's almost as if we've been moving through that ticky box list and finding the direction we need to go in with this chariot and being spurred on by it. Having this feeling and knowing that this new, balanced, fresh start is happening, it's here, we know it's there. But there's this block again of going between the mind and the heart, the mind and the heart. And it's turning this King of Pentacles upside down. And I think there's a lot of Geminis out there that have been needing to concentrate on their material sustainability, their material goals, how they want to be remembered for the profession, for what they did, for what they gave back to the world, for how they lived. And because we're bringing this cup where it belongs here, and we keep drawing it back up into the mind, into this logical thought pattern, well, how will it happen? What will it look like? Who will it be? What will it be? Rather than keeping it here and just feeling our way through, this is actually what has flipped this card, the King of Pentacles, into the reverse position. What I want us to be doing, if this resonates with you, and it does with me as well, is keep this cup here. Feel the end result. Feel what it's like to be this king the right way up, i.e. being the perfect strategist in business, knowing how to bring those pentacles in, knowing how to become sustainable, knowing how to be authoritative, with a lot of foresight, with knowing when to harvest, knowing where to plant, knowing how much physical effort, mental effort to put into something, to have this creation force behind us that creates something physical, something that we can use, something that will sustain us, our families. But it's this cup being stuck up here rather than here that seems to be flipping this king that way around. So maybe for a lot of Geminis out there, we need to really look at this king and look at the fact that in his divinity, he's not greedy. In his divinity, he just knows what to put in place. He knows how much to water things. He knows how much to enjoy the pentacles, enjoy the material side of life, but also stay grounded and enjoy the nature. And I think we might have been focused on maybe just one or two aspects rather than all aspects of this king, and really feeling what it's like to be this king in control of our material world, in control of our environment around us. So maybe the advice for me and for other Geminis out there in this reading is to keep this cup here, and to get the result that we want, to manifest that we need for our material, the material side of our life, the income, the home, the car, the harvest, the food that's planted in our gardens, everything is to feel what it's like, visualize what it's like to be this king, to feel in control, to have our home in a flow, in a feng shui, to have things grounded, to have things fruiting, to have the fruits that are coming from our labour to be plump, juicy, nutritional. Feel your whole way through this card and what it would be like for you to be this King of Pentacles, to stay grounded, to not keep disappearing up here in thought as Geminis like to do, but to stay grounded and to be able to embody the goal, to embody the person we want to become, the person we want to be, the person we want to be seen as. That's what's being called for here. And I can feel as I'm talking, it's a block. It's an emotional and mental block. So I hope this reading helps it actually has helped me to draw this down to here, and rather than think our way through everything, feel our way through this. And what we ultimately want, if this resonates, is to embody this King of Pentacles, this kind, compassionate, grounded king who knows how to plant his harvest, who knows when to pluck his harvest, who knows when to plant other seeds. He's a strategist. He's connected to nature. He takes time out. He knows the importance of working, but he also knows the importance of taking time out and enjoying nature and getting that zap of energy back from nature. So he knows what to do in balance, especially in business. So that's advice for myself really there. The overall being the Nine of Cups. Again, this wish fulfillment, this drive and passion, this dream that we want to manifest, that we want to bring into fruition. And everything about this reading for me is screaming that we want our material life, not just money, riches or anything like that, but we want true wealth with this King of Pentacles. This is the wish. This is the force, the drive that we want to get towards with this Chariot. This is who we want to move towards. The Chariot wants us to get to this position, a kingly position, in control of his environment around him, in control of the sustainability around him, in control of the things that we can feel and touch and use, in control of his material self, that side of self that a lot of Geminis maybe have been struggling with, living too much up here rather than just feeling here, and being grounded here, and trying to ground ourselves too much in logical thought. And once a Gemini starts that, one, it can be very powerful, but two, we can think faster than we can process almost. So sometimes it's a case of we very, very quickly move away from what we really want to manifest and start doing something else, rather than staying focused and grounded on what is at hand. This Nine of Cups here, this wish fulfillment, this and it is, a promise that's possible. All of this is possible. This wish is possible. It's possible to come into fruition. It's not against the odds. If you add that one cup, this focused heart chakra, feel your way through to the position you want to be cup, then you have the 10. You have the alignment. You have the perfect fulfillment of whatever you are trying to manifest. You bring this into the 10. So I do feel about it's drawing everything from your feet to your mind into this heart chakra, into this one cup here, and feel your way through what you want to manifest. Feel your way through what you want the ultimate result to look like, Gemini. I hope that makes sense. I think it'll make sense to the right people. But I can feel as I'm talking, it's very blocked. On the bottom of the deck we have strength. This has been a running theme for a lot of Geminis, the need to have strength. And I feel here it's talking about having strength over self, having strength over what would be our usual system of bringing things into motion, which would be through the mind. To have the strength to shut our mind down, to feel our way through and trust our feelings, trust our intuition, trust our thought to get to where we want to get to, and to keep it up. It's so nearly there with the Nine of Cups and this one cup here to draw it all in together. It's the nearly there feeling. So it's a lot to have the strength to carry on, to keep making that happen. What's this block? Let's do the let's clarify the King of Pentacles in the reverse position first, to see what else the cards want to say, to suggest how to unlock and flip that block the right way up so that it's in flow. So Geminis, as I'm shuffling, I just want to say to you, be at peace. Know that you have been working hard. Know that you have been putting in the effort. Bring peace to yourself. Your mind's very on the go constantly right now, and has been for a long time. It's the release of this self-deprecating thought system that keeps creeping in there, that keeps trying to sneak in there, that is helping to keep this block there, to stop you from unlocking it. Know that you are enough, and that all that you've been through thus far hasn't been a waste. These have been valuable lessons that in the future you'll be glad you went through them. In the future, the King of Pentacles doesn't regret lessons that have been learned in the past. The King of Pentacles is the entrepreneur. Oh God. The entrepreneur. One second, people. The entrepreneur who can never really see failure as failure, but can see failure as a lesson learned of how not to do something the next time, or an inside note in business to that was a personal crash course lesson of how to not go about something the next time. I won't do that again, kind of thing. Nothing you've been doing up to this point has been a waste. Nothing you have been focusing on and working and trying so hard on has been wasted. It's all going to come in to play. When you reach this King of Pentacles in its divinity, in its upright position, this is all going to come into play. The lessons that you've been learning, the banging your head against a brick wall sometimes, the tiredness, but not being able to sleep, it's all going to come into play. All of them will turn out to be valuable lessons when you need them most in the future, when you actually have a lot of pentacles that you could potentially lose if you didn't have those lessons to forewarn you and forearm you of how to not let something happen, or how to allow something to happen in the future, because you've been through it at a previous time. So the three cards that came out for me to see how I can flip this card from reversed into the upright position for these Geminis is the Devil. So again, letting go of that self-deprecating thought system. And again, always the duality of the Devil card, in that, yes, let go of that self-deprecating thought system and have a little walk on the wild side. Have a little walk into your animalistic self. Maybe that'll help you feel this cup in the heart chakra. Maybe that'll get your passion stirring a little bit for what you want to move towards. So, but letting go of you haven't done enough, or you did this wrong, or you did that wrong. Letting go of that's too much, and it's blocking this king. It's putting this king in the reverse. So that's the first card. The second card that came out was this Death card. And I think that spoke to what I was getting as I was shuffling, in that allow this transformation to happen and know that none of it is wasted. every skin shed that you've done during this process, i.e. every lesson that you've learned, every level up that you've moved up, every rung of the ladder, has all been part of the process, has all been part of making this king, of making this side of you, developing this side of you, giving you more and more understanding of how it is to be this king. The third card being the Wheel of Fortune. So Geminis, these cards are telling you, if you can let go of these self-deprecating thoughts, if you can almost enjoy the ride a little bit more of this transformation into this King of Pentacles, then this is what happens. The Wheel of Fortune kicks in, revs up, and there the king is flipped up the right way. It's all about letting go of old belief systems, letting go of old thoughts, drawing those thoughts, learning how to live in the moment, live in the present, live within the transformation, and start to enjoy it happening, and allowing things to move for you, allowing to go with the flow, and you know, you've put up with the ebbs, then you can have the flow, which will kick in, rev up this king, and have you sitting on this throne, this king and this, its divinity, its dominion over the material self, over the grounded self. So on the bottom of the deck for that is the Four of Wands, the happy home, the balanced home, the environment around you, the people around you in that home, you know, the king being in his position within that home, the earner. Yeah, Gemini, you can do this. I'm not sad, I'm not low, but as I'm reading this, all of a sudden from this thought system, now I've got this calm, this feeling, this energy of calmness, woosah, you know, just it's happening. You try and rush it, you're going to keep flipping this king in the reverse. You try and control it too much, again, this king, boom, back in the reverse. You try and think your way through it too much, reverse. Breathe. Enjoy the ride. Feel your way through. Get excited about what you're creating in self and the environment around you. And boom, this king is in his divinity, in the upright. So Gemini, I hope that helped you. I hope that gave you the same kind of peace that I feel towards that reading at the end. And it helps drive you on, but drive you on with a calmness, with a wholeness, knowing that everything in the right timing, everything in its place, everything in its time, it's coming to you, Gemini. So if you would like a personal reading, again, feel free to get in touch. I'd love to hear your comments on this reading, because it was a strange one. The energies were strange around it. It was a bit like up and down. I'd love to hear the comments of how you're feeling your way through this, especially if you're a Gemini this month. And I'm sending you lots of heart energy, lots of compassion and understanding, Gemini, this month, to just relax, restore, and be. Just be. So, love you all. Be balanced and be whole. Mwah.